welcome back. Um, this is not where we left off last time because I figured out what we needed to do. So, if you make the margin top, we were experimenting in pixels, but if we do it in 5%, it does give us the right distance we need. And look here, it's like the same, right? And the letter spacing is supposed to be 4 pixels. I think that looked the best. Now, what we need to do is I think that was all good for that. Now we have this container here. uh we want to align everything in the center, so what we're going to do is go here and we're going to put align self center, and then we're going to put justify content to the center. Okay, so that should do that. It's in the center both ways, although it looks a little bit to one side. I know that um that is like there's a little something about that. I'm not sure what it is, but it does look like it's a little bit to one side and less to the other. Okay, now let's start by making it look like this. Let's go back to this style. I'm gonna just add now we added a socials already, so we can let's style that. So we can go here and put hashtag contact and then put socials. Sorry, dot socials. Dot socials. um Now we put position relative because we want it to be positioned relative, like we don't want it to just be moving, like, you know, like regardless of everything else. We want it to stay like we want it to fit the page correctly. We make the background color transparent. We'll give it a height of 170 pixels, a width of 200 pixels. You can see that sort of spaced them out. A border of 1 pixel, solid gray. Alright, there we have that. We're gonna add some padding. And we talked about padding, so padding will, if we had padding of 10 pixels, it expands it from the inside of the box, it expands outwards. And then if we have margin of 10 pixels, that expands um that expands like that pushes outwards from outside the box. This pushes outwards from inside the box. Now we need to arrange them to the middle of each box that they're in. So to do that, we're gonna go to contact again, dot socials, peak, and target the paragraph and add some margin from the top of 20%. Now 20% worked to bring this one down, but if we add 20% to this one, because we want it to be right above it, 20% would bring it to this point, so we're gonna add 10%. So we're gonna do contact, and we're going to dot social, and we're going to I'm gonna add margin from the top of 10%. That we get that. You can add a bit more if you liked, but I think that looks the best. Yeah, I think that's what we what we needed to do. Oh yeah, we wanted to, because this doesn't look good if we are on about, for example, and we commit to contact. This contact us comes above the heading, I mean the nav bar. I think that the reason for that is because it's a margin. So what it did was if you imagine like imagine this blue highlight as a box, margin pushed this way. It pushed outward in on 5% every direction. But if we added padding, we would expand the box. So I think that if we changed margin top to padding top and save that, and now we go to contact, yeah, so now it stays there. And yeah, okay, now let's get started on the feedback. We're gonna get the HTML for now because there's a lot of CSS that goes into the feedback page, so we can get all that out in the next video. But for now, let's just get the HTML done, because as you can see, it's quite a bit of styling for this. I think it's kind of nice. It's quite a bit of styling, so let's just get the HTML done, and we can do the CSS in the next video. So now I'm gonna put here copyright, because that's what this not copyright, sorry, feedback. Copyright will come after that. Feedback, and now I'm gonna put the feedback in not really a section. I'm just gonna make it in a div, right? And I'm gonna give it the ID of feedback, because there's not that much in it really. So we're gonna have a dot content, and you press tab and it gives you the div. And then we have heading 1 that I think it says drop some feedback. Drop some feedback. Then there's these. So now if we make just a regular div here, because I'm going to put everything in their own containers, we have a smaller div under that where we're going to put input. So when you put input, you might get this if you're using VS Code, or I think it's called, I keep forgetting, it's called ECMA, something like that. So you get this input, and type is going to be text, and what you're going to put, there's name and ID and all this. We don't need much of this. All we're going to put here is type. It gives you placeholder, and you put name, and then you can put like those 3 dots. And after name, we had email. So whoa, okay, after name we had email, so we're gonna put another input there. And in type you can put email, and then in the placeholder you can put enter, or actually I think it was just email, and the 3 dots, and that closes that div. Then we have another one which is gonna be another input, and I'm gonna give this a class of feedback. And the reason we can do that is because we give this an ID, so they won't like be connected. And then the type was text, and the placeholder was drop some feedback. Then we had a button, so you can put button, right? And in the button where you'd put a class name, what you can do is put type, and you might get these options. I'm gonna go with submit. And after you submit it, maybe you want when you press the button, you want to go somewhere, you can put a href, right? And that will if I put hashtag top, it should take me to the top, which I think we gave this an ID of top, so I put top right there. And what do we want the button to say? We can just have a button. We can have it say submit. I'm gonna put a capital S there, and I save that. And we go to feedback, and this is what we have so far. We have these little input things here, and actually I think we should just put it in its own section real quick. We'll just do that, but that won't do anything at this point, because I think that once we finish styling it, it'll look a lot better than it does right now. But you can see that even if I remove it, nothing really changed. So we can get the CSS next time, and we'll make it look like this, right? It's crazy from that into this. So I'll see you